All right. Hello, everybody. Turn my heater on. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. You are very welcome. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. Hope you are doing what you're supposed to do in order to make yourself happy today. So I wanted to just come on here and I know I'm a few minutes early, so I want to definitely just wait for a few moments and invite people into the space. If you are joining, please feel free to share this video, like, comment, all of the above. If there is anything that you have questions about, or if you would like to follow up and you're watching the live or the replay, I mean, make sure that you reach out to us because we are always looking for people to partner with to support our youth. So, with that being said, I'm going to sip a little bit of my tea here and I'm going to wait for more people to join. And so, as you are joining in, if you have not checked us out, please feel free to join our or visit our website at Blue Pathway on Facebook as well to learn more about us. And then I will also post in here our website for you to learn more about us as well. So I know people like to check us out and see what we're doing and, figure out like how we can partner and how we align because that's the first thing that I like to do is see how we align. And if we do, then I'd like to do, match up and reach out to people. But if we don't, I don't like to just be talking to people about stuff because that's weird. So here is our website. Please feel free to check it out and learn more about our services and our programs and things like that so that you can learn more about us. So I will put that on here. You can grab that link as well. So, all right. So I do believe in starting on time. I believe that time is very important. I believe that when we hi Angela, let's add you to the stage too. Hi there. So I just believe that when we um say that we're going to do something, we want to make sure that we are absolutely doing it and that we are really showing up and being authentic in the space. So, like I said, I believe in starting on time. I believe in honoring people's time and making sure that people get what they need because I promised to share information about our programs. I promise to make sure that I get your questions answered. I promise to make sure that if there's good alignment, that we will definitely do that together. So I promise all those things. Okay. So who are we? We are Blue Pathways Educational Mentorship Services. We have been around for the past 10 years doing this work. I come from the space of education, business, and management. I had loved this space. It's not that someone makes me do this work, I get to do this work. So this is so exciting for me. And when I think about the opportunity to serve our youth ages 14 through 24, to me, that is the prime time because that's when a lot of things are pulling on them and trying to get them to do certain things. So I want to make sure that there is true authenticity in what they're doing and that there is a true path. So I want to welcome you into this space. You are very welcome to put your questions, your comments into the chat. And towards the end, I will definitely open up the question box and the comment box for us to talk about those things. But there are some important things that I really want to get out to you so that you can learn about our program. So we are, again, Blue Pathways Educational Mentorship Services. Today, you are joining our Youth Leadership Lunch and Learn for August. And we like to offer these very, simple seldom. I'm not going to promise that we're going to do them every month because we're often doing the work. We're often in the streets with our youth, make sure that they have what they need, going to the schools, mentoring them, coaching them, supporting them, and doing all the things. But our youth leadership lunch and learn is an opportunity for young leaders to be able to come together. We know that their voices are so important, especially in a time like this. We want them to know that their voices matter. This is not all about a whole bunch of us as leaders getting together. I'm bringing in the youth for them to sit down at the table, tell us what they're thinking about, how they're feeling, and the things that are resonating with them. So that they can get what they need, because oftentimes as leaders, we're always planning for them when we don't often give them a chance for them to say, I don't like that, and I don't want to do that. And so this is what our Blue Pathways is all about, because I remember being a youth, and everybody's planning all this stuff around me, but they never asked me what I wanted, and they never asked me how I felt about the thing. So when it came time to do it, I was like, yeah, I'm here, but I'm not really vested or invested in this, because this is not something that I signed up for. This is something that you signed me up for. So if you have your lunch and you want to eat your lunch, please feel free to do that. If you want to come on camera after we get through having the conversation, please feel free to do that, because I want you to know that your support through this process is so important, and I want your engagement. And I definitely want you to know about the upcoming initiatives that we have, also for us to connect on a deeper level and for us to do some future planning together. Okay. So, with that being said, welcome, welcome, welcome to the space. And please, by all means, put your information in the chat so that I can follow up with you. I would love to do that. Oh, okay. So I want to share with you our mission is to always empower our youth through leadership, workforce development, and entrepreneurship training. We know that a lot of these schools and organizations, they sit there and they PowerPoint these youth and really not engage with them. And so they're sitting there oftentimes and they're looking like they're tired, they're looking like they're sleepy. It's not because they're sleepy, they're bored. Okay. So what Blue Pathways does is we get them into the community. So for, say for instance, there was a youth that was interested in working with the organization. We partnered up with the organization and did a job shadow for the day. They were able to walk around with the leader of the organization and see what it was to be in that space. And that helped them to understand if this is something that I want to do, or is this something that I don't. And so with that being said, they found out, hey, this is not a job that I want to do. I do not want to be a teacher. These children are not listening. I know that I see how it is. I even took them to a space of where I was working with one of my partners, and they thought that they wanted to be a teacher, and they were like, "Oh no, Dr. Blue, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I got to figure out something else." And then I had a youth that decided that, you know what, I don't want to just work a job. I want to go get my education. And so they went and they enrolled into a local college. So there are so many facets to this and so many different areas that our youth are able to see. I need to do X, Y, and Z in order for me to level up and get the thing that I need. Because with a plan of action, which we provide for them and work with them, that's exactly what we do. And we don't sit down and tell them all the things that they need to do. We help them to do the research to find out, okay, so you say that you want to be a nurse and you want to make XYZ a number of dollars. So is this a profession that is going to get you to do that? Now you may like a part of the nursing, but maybe you don't like all of the drawing the blood, all of the other things, but there may be parts of being a nurse that is that you may be interested in doing, right? So So it doesn't mean that you don't want to be a nurse. So we don't want you to say that, hey, I don't want to be a nurse because that's so gross. In the nursing field, and that is an honorable field. And so we do the research with them. We make them go through and talk about what it means to be in the nursing field, where these locations are, what are the trends. We talk about all of that. What would your resume look like? Who do you need to make contact with? Where do you want to be? And all of those things, looking down the road. So oftentimes our youth don't get to think about what their future will be like in, they just get to think about right now because of all the things that are going on around them. And we know that life goes by so fast. And so I had a youth that experienced one of their friends getting killed. And so they begin to think about, well, maybe I'm going to get killed, or maybe this is all the life that I have for me. But I often tell them, just because that is a path that someone else chose, that does not necessarily mean that that is the path for you. So that is what we talk about, our one program, which is our one choice, because we all have one choice. But we are always not, um, our future does not always predict our past does not always predict our future. And some people say, yes, it does. No, it does not. Because I could be a murderer, I could be a drug dealer, I could be anything. But then if I say to myself that, you know what, I want to change my life and I want to be something different and I want more for me because I choose me. That doesn't mean that the things that I have done in the past and I'm not going to pay recompense or have consequences for, because I'm still going to have to do that part because of the choices that I made. But from this point on, from this day on, I can make a different choice as long as we have breath in our body. And so that's what we teach our youth. We don't teach them that just because you've made some bad choices, because I've made some bad choices, right? And just because we do that doesn't mean that our life is over. There is still opportunity. There is hope for you. There is still a chance for you to do something different. So I want people to know that stop judging people on what they did in the past. We all have a past, right? And that's part of our experiences and things that we learn. We're like, that didn't work. That was not for me. That was not amazing. And so we make a different choice, and that's okay. And so I talk to our youth about that all the time because I want them to know that without the educational piece, I do introduce that piece to them. Without the educational piece, we often make choices that put us into situations that pigeonhole us, because education is everything. And that's why some are trying to take the education away, because education is our voice, right? Because education is not just about the books, it introduces us to someone that we probably never knew in the past, and that is us. Education introduces us to ourselves, and it pushes us to the space where we thought that, you know what, nobody's paying attention to me, nobody sees me, but people are watching you. They're always watching you, and oftentimes they're not watching you for the good. They're watching you to see if something is going to go wrong. So we're not in today's days the flashy clothes, the freshest car, all of that, a big stack of money in our hand. We don't need to do that. We need to just show up every day authentically, making sure that we are being the best us that we can be to help and make this world a better place. That's our job, each and every one of us, not just the youth, but that's our job as leaders as well. So we talk about that. We talk about the gaps that are in the job readiness space. I was working with a youth not too long ago, and it was their first day on their job, right? And on the first day, the employer gave them an assignment to do with a program called Slack, right? If anyone knows anything about the program Slack, it is an app that is on your phone, and it is a form of communication. And a lot of organizations use that program to just communicate something's going on, the weather is bad, we're going to all work from home today. Slack is a great way to organize. It's almost like something like Asana or Monday, just another program that businesses use. So the youth did not know how to use Slack. And when it came time for them to respond or whatever, they reached out to me. They're like, Dr. Blue, I don't know anything about this thing called Slack. I said, but you do know YouTube. I said, you do know YouTube. I said, if you don't know something, or if you're in a space and you don't know how to work a or complete a task for an employer, take some time. You're always on your phone. Your phone is always look. This thing is a wealth to gain knowledge as well. And so it is often, bye Angela, thank you. It is also a tool for us to learn more about the world, and also a tool for us to okay, I don't know what happened, maybe that was a glitch, but welcome back. The Our phone is a tool for us to learn stuff that we don't know, and we can learn it on the fly. They don't even know that you're looking up how to use Slack, and so the next thing you know, you're on there sending messages like everybody else. So don't get down on yourself. I tell the youth, don't get down on yourself. It is an opportunity for you to learn. So as a partner of Blue Pathways, that's what we do for your youth. We teach them about the tools and the techniques and the things that will help them to be successful. Now, do we make them do all the things? No, because all the things are not going to. We don't just water hose them. I really hate that when people go into a job and they do this thing of just water hosing you with information, and then they expect you to know that information and regurgitate it and do the task. But people don't learn like that. If you're anything like me, I don't learn like that. So the way that I learn is give me a plan. This is what we're going to do this week. So at least for 3 weeks, can I have a plan that is going to help me to become familiar with this job? So if I, just like we help someone just get a customer service position. If you are in customer service, there's so many things that you need to know. You need to know the people you're going to work with. You need to know the equipment that you're going to touch. You need to know your passwords and your logins. You need to know what time you need to report. All those things, like your dress code, type of things that you can't do. And so they were working this job as a customer service individual. And I tell you, they were so nervous because they were so afraid of messing up, because they heard all of these horror stories about this employer. But like I told them, if you're informed and you know exactly what you're supposed to do, I promise you that things will get better when the nervousness comes in. So when we try to go in and water hose people for these positions, that we're doing them a disservice, because there's no way to retain all of this information, and it is just setting people up for failure. So I ask employers that I work with, that are hiring the youth that we work with, to come up with at least a 3 week plan. So if you're working with us, I'm going to ask you that. What is your 3 week plan for this youth? And give me a detailed plan of what they're going to be doing, so that if there's like tools that they need to know, if there's like software that they can research, more information about your company, things that they need to know, people that they need to know on your website. Make sure that they have that information so that they can become familiar. So if you're just setting them up for failure and just saying that you need to know all these things, and then by the end of the week you need to produce this product, that's not fair. And it's not right to them, because when someone does that to us, how do we feel? We feel sucky. We don't feel good about that. And so I'm not going to let anyone do that to our youth either. So we want to talk about also empowering our youth. Building we're not working with youth that are a whole bunch of followers. We have enough followers in this world, okay? We are empowering our youth to be leaders. So say for instance, when I do lessons in the classroom and I work with the youth, work with them during our programs. So we have our 18-week program, I mean 6-week program, and then we rotate. So we start with Blue Pathways for 6 weeks. Then we do 6 weeks with Blue Diamonds, which is our nonprofit, which is hands-on, and that's all about certification in the culinary arts field, as well as certification in the cleaning industry. And we talk about products, we talk about what it is to make products, production, and all of those things. We mentioned we work with all of that. And then after they do that for 6 weeks, then we move them over to our program, which is Power of the Tongue, which is our culinary arts program, where they do earn and learn, where they actually earn to work in the field with us. So we're out in the community during catering events, all of the things, because we know how important it is to, we could talk about it all day, but if I never touch it, it never becomes real to me, right? So we definitely make sure that we do those things because we know how important it is for our youth to have that information. Sorry, someone was calling me, trying to text me. I'm trying to make sure that everybody could get in. So hold on just a second. I apologize. I'm going to send her this link really quick. So if you have questions, please take this time to put your questions in the chat so that so that I can answer all of your questions for you. This is let's see. Okay. So I want to just make sure that um, our youth are getting what they need and they know exactly what they're doing when they walk into these spaces. So first is 6 weeks of Blue Pathways, 6 weeks of Blue Diamonds, and then 6 weeks of Power of the Tongue, and then we rotate. We continue to rotate. As long as they want to stay with us, you are more than welcome to stay with us because every rotation there's a different topic. We're not teaching them the same thing over, but there's always something new to learn. And then once they become our blue scholars, because they've become part of us for so long, now they're teaching the classes, right? So we call that mentorship in action, because you don't need me to teach you all the things that we've already taught you. Now it's time for you to become a mentor, earn and learn, and turn around and teach someone else what you've already learned, right? And so we know that there's going to be many challenges that they're going to face, but we talk about that, how it is so important to show up and to say, if I sign my name on this contract and this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do this. And we think about it for long term. We don't think about this opportunity for just a one and done. We know that workforce development is always an opportunity for our youth to have someone massage them in. So when they go and work into these fields, it's always something for them to learn. And when they get out into a job, if they decide that, I want to go and work at this pizza place, or I want to go work here, we're showing up, talking to the job owner, the business owner, and saying, hey, John works with us. We are their mentors. We're there to support them. If there's anything that John needs to know, or you would like John to do X, Y, and Z, and there's a time for celebration, we want to make sure that we are talking about that because we want to celebrate them as well. We're not always focusing on the negative things, and a lot of these jobs only want to focus on the negative. No, that's not what we do. We focus on what are they doing right and what are the opportunities. We call them opportunities, not what they're doing wrong, opportunities for them to learn more, right? And so when we think about that, we don't want to we want to make sure that they are getting that extra help that they do need, right? So at the same time, we know that when our youth are when they're not supported, we know exactly what that feels like as well, right? We know what it feels like when someone is not supporting us, and when we show up to do our best and it seems like our best is still not good enough. That's when we feel like that, because I've been through that. And I'm sure as business owners and leaders, you've gone through that as well. And we don't want that for our youth. We want them to know that they matter and that their hearts are important to us as well. Okay. So at the same time, we know that there are barriers. And so with that, we work with different organizations. We have so many different partners that are amazing and they love the work that we do. Yet they are saying, here, Dr. Blue, just here you go. Just help the youth with this. And I love that I have partners like that. And I don't want to partner with you if you're trying to give me opposition on why and trying to make me jump through a whole bunch of hoops. You know that our youth need this help and you have the access. Why would you not help me? I like to work with partners that are saying, you know what, you matter. I see what you're doing. Let me help you in this way. Now, you may want some explanation and reasoning as to what I'm going to do with it. Absolutely. But when it comes to funding and you supporting the youth and helping me to get what they need, absolutely. I would definitely don't mind doing that. But when you try to make me feel like what I'm doing is a problem and that I can't figure it out, or you try to make me feel like, oh, you gotta tell me this in order for you to get the thing or to get the help. No, I'm not doing that. Okay. So at the same time, I want you to know that as my partner, when you think about partnership, you think about someone that is wanting to help you to get the thing that you need, right? And so that's what I think about when it comes to partnership. I don't think about someone that is trying to stop me or trying to get in the way of or trying to be in opposition to, because that's not fair. And I wouldn't do that to you either. I had a partner that did that. They wanted me to write a whole, basically a whole dissertation on what I was doing, what I was needing to, why do how do I work with the youth. They wanted all of this information, right? And then after I submitted all of that to them, you know what they said to me? We've given out all of our funding for this year, and so we won't have any more funding for the next 2 years. Okay, and then I turn around and I look at their programming, and what did they do? They turned around and tried to take what I was doing and use it in their business. And I'm like, that to me, that's kind of grimy, and I don't like that. So if you're thinking about partnership with me, I would really love to sit down with you, figure out what the long-term goal is. We're not doing this thing for 2 weeks and then you go your way, I go my way. We're thinking about long-term partnership until we can stretch this out until it can't go anymore. That's what we're doing. And so we break down into the different phases. We talk about the preparation for our youth. We talk about what it is to be in the space and working these jobs. And then we talk about post, what it means after you've been hired. What does that look like? Because those are three different things. Before you get hired, there's a piece of when you get hired, and then there's a piece of after you get hired, because there's a whole different ball game when it comes to this. So, and also we talk about the different stories. We want them to write their stories and tell us about what they're learning and share this. And so we use their video and audio and their testimonials to talk about what their experience is, because people always want to know. Because look at our youth. Long time ago, I made a vow that I wanted to touch um 250,000 youth by 2025, and we've already touched over 150,000 youth, and that is virtually and in person, doing these different when you go to the different go to the stage and you're standing up there, little bitty me standing on the stage with all of these youth, and they're like, yes, yes, me, and agreeing and standing up, asking questions to them and looking at me. I'm engaging with them, they're engaging with me. And my thing is, and after the thing is over, the person that comes with me, they're basically trying to work with me to get them all the information that they need, and passing out cards and giving them discounts, and selling our t-shirts and our journals, and just having a ball, just having an amazing time with our youth. That's what I love. And our youth love that too. And they're so excited about it. And we're excited to do this coming up in October. This cohort will be, it will be in person, but it will be mainly after school. So this cohort will be after school, and there'll be activities and opportunities on the weekend, because I love for our youth to go away from this space and just relax for a day and just say, you know what, I want to be by the water for a moment. And so we sit down, we do some activities for them to, whether it is drawing, whether it's writing in our journal, or whatever it is, but it is just for them to think about where they want to be, where they are right now, where they want to be, and where they don't want to be. And we talk about that. What is the thing that you don't want to do? Like, absolutely, in your life, what is the thing that you say, you know what, this is my deal breaker. This is something that I just, I don't even want to think about doing that, because if I do, then this is not something that I'm going to be happy doing. So we talk about that. And then also we talk about what it means to network, because a lot of times our youth are introduced to spaces, and I take them to spaces and I expose them to different opportunities. And a lot of times they walk in and they are so shy. Do you know why they're shy? Is because no one has asked them what they think, how they feel, what do they want to know more about. And but if you know what it means to network, and you know what that opportunity can do for you, and you're not shy, because you walk into the space, I guarantee you, other people, ooh, that was ringing in my ear. I guarantee you, other people that are in that space are just as nervous, okay? And so if you're walking in there and you're like, I'm not going to speak to anybody, I'm not going to say anything to anybody, I'm not going to sit at a table, I'm not going to talk. Well, what do you think if everybody did that? What do you think would happen? That would be the same thing that would happen for everybody, and that would not be cool, right? So I want to say to you all, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And you need to know too that oh, you've been struggling. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm gonna send this link one more time to you. It's in your email. Hold on. The link is in your email. If it's not there, you can always go to our YouTube page for Blue Pathway, or you can go to our Facebook page at Blue Pathway. So I want to say to you all that, uh, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Angela, for joining. I appreciate you. You are amazing. Okay, so I want to say to you all that it is so, so important that when you are working with our youth, that we don't take them for granted. We don't treat them like they're just another part. Part doesn't matter. And so I want to say that it's so important that we remind ourselves that too, we too have been young. We too know what it means to be in that space and wanting more and needing more, and then at the same time we can't we can't get what we need. So I want to say to you that as a young person, their hearts are so ready, their hearts are so ready to receive, something great. They've already seen what it is to have the bad. Now they want to receive the good. And that's what Blue Pathways does. We come in and we partner with organizations just like yours. So if you're thinking about partnering with Blue Pathways and you have a group of youth that you work with and you're saying, you know what, this sounds amazing. This sounds like something that would be beneficial to the youth that we serve. I would love for Dr. Blue to partner with us. Either she can come into our school and her team can come into the school, or either our youth will be welcome to go to her program after school. Let's talk, because we know that the statistics shows that when youth are don't have anything to do after school, that's when the problems begin. But if they're doing something that is positive, they will only turn out positive, okay? But when they are given an opportunity to not um, do anything that is great, and to have someone to share with them, hey, John, I saw you working with that organization and you were doing great things. Tell me more about that. Now, they may act a little shy, but I tell you, in the back of their mind, they're like, dang, somebody is watching me. They are really, really looking at me. They are paying attention to me, and they see what I have to offer. And so, if we don't remember that how important our youth is to our communities, we are forgetting a vital piece, right? Because they pay taxes, especially if they work in a job. They live here, they are part of this community, and we need to include them into our different conversations. So, if you're having a whole bunch of topics and planning for our youth and you're not including them into the conversation, you are doing them a disservice. So we talk about how important it is, and then we turn around and then we have events and things to help our youth develop their learning skills. So we say to them, hey, we want you to put together this presentation, and we put you into groups and we want to show you how you learn. And if they say to me, hey, Dr. Blue, I'm too nervous, I don't want to get up there, hey, that's fine. Just stand up there. You may be the one that holds the cue card. You may be the one that'll stand up there and press the click button, but you got to get up there with your team. You have to get up there because we want to see what you can do. And everybody has to introduce themselves and tell us what they learned throughout this program. So we know how important it is for our youth and their voices. I was working with a group of youth this summer, and they were at the beginning of the school year. They were so nervous. They came in, they had their earbuds in, they had their phones out, they were, sitting off to the side, they spread out into the room. They didn't really want to talk to each other and they didn't want to engage. And so, I like to observe the room for the first 15, 20 minutes, and I get them right into working into groups and getting to know each other, and realizing that when you walk into a space with Dr. Blue, this is not a classroom. You're not coming to class to goof off. You're walking into this space as if you're walking into your place of employment. So when you walk in, you come in without your headphones on, your phone is being put away. You're checking those last messages before I call the class to attention. You're making sure that you have something out to write with, something to write on. Don't come to my class if you don't have anything to write with or something to write on, because we're going to have a problem. Okay. I'm going to ask you to rise up, go get you something to write with and write on, because we're definitely going to take copious notes. We're definitely going to be talking to each other, engaging. We're going to be doing some group conversations. We're going to be doing some research. Then I'm going to have you pull that phone back out. We're going to do some research and talking about the trends and things like that. So if you're saying, hey, Dr. Blue, this class just sounds way too much, too advanced for my youth, good. Because evidently you're pigeonholing them and not giving them, trusting them that they know how to do the work. All they need is an opportunity, right? And so I want to say to you, I find this as an honor to work with our youth. I find this as a privilege because not just our partners, but our parents entrust me. I get to know the parents. I get to know their siblings. I get to know their family members. I get to know when their vacation trips are coming up, when their family trips, when their birthdays are, all of that things, all of those things. And I love to celebrate them. I just send them a quick text, happy birthday. Hope you enjoy yourself. Be safe today. Those things matter, right? And so when we think about when we work with our youth and we think about, well, maybe they're just, bad. They don't want anything. All of our youth are so messed up and they just all they want to do is cause problems. That's your limited thinking, right? Because you have to remember that you too, my dear, was were a youth before, right? And so when we think about how bad our youth is, why not turn that around, right? And think about how amazing they are, how blessing, what a blessing it is to touch their hearts and to let them know that they are loved and that there is someone out here that is looking out for them and that they don't have to do those things that other people are calling on them to do that is negative, that is going to put them into a bad light. We don't need to have people do that. So if you are a partner and you're thinking about partnership with Blue Pathways, Dr. Blue, Blue Diamonds, you may see those different names. You may see Blue Pathways, you may see Blue Diamonds, and then you may see the Power of the Tongue. We are all one unit, okay? There are different facets and different areas to the business. We're all partnered together along with other partners to make sure that our youth have what they need. So if you're saying, well, you're talking about this on this area, but you're talking about this when you should be only speaking about, you don't understand how it is to take all of these pieces, just like a puzzle, and match them together and help the youth get what they need. So the thing that may be good for John may not be the same path that is good for Mary. So I'm not going to put John on the same path that is good for Mary. So that means that in order for me to find that out, I have to do what? I have to have a conversation with each one of them in a group setting, and then I have to have a conversation with them individually to find out what their goals are, help them come up with a path, and then also come up with a solution that is going to help them in the long run. So, with all that being said, now that I've shared with you information, I introduced you and shared with you what it is to be a part of our leadership workforce training and development. We talked about what the different stages are: 6 weeks in Blue Pathways, 6 weeks in Blue Diamonds, and 6 weeks with the Power of the Tongue. We talked about those things. We talked about the importance of youth empowerment and development. I talked to you about the program structure, the phases. I talked to you about the benefits. I shared some success stories, testimonials, and I told you about the impact of what how this program has impacted our youth of over 150,000 youth since we started. That is not a fictitious number. I have proof, okay, of the numbers that we have touched. I talked to you about partnership and collaboration. And next, I want to talk to you about if there are any questions that you may have, or if you're saying, I man, that sounds amazing. I would love to really partner, but I have more questions. After this video, after this presentation, I'm going to send this video to you so that you can take a look and you can listen. And if this suits you well and you really want to partner, I will also send a link to my calendar for us to schedule a time that would be beneficial to both of us. So, all the questions have been answered. Now the ball is in your court. What are you going to do? And if you work with youth and you're saying, man, I don't even know what to do for this next phase. I have this pot of money, but I don't know how to use it. I've already shared with you how you can use this that will be beneficial to our youth, but it's on you. It's up to you. And if you're saying, well, I don't know who she is, you don't need to know who I am. You need to know more about our programs and how we serve, right? You'll get to know me. You'll get to know more about me, and you'll get to know more about my team. So we've talked about partnership and collaboration. We talked about the different opportunities. And then I want to share with you about additional resources and support. So with the additional resources and support, we know that to end this violence in our community. During the summer, I took a look at the statistics in our communities of the violence, and when these violence situations occur. And I tell you, during the summer, that's when those numbers do pike up, right? So they peak during the summertime. Why? Because there's more time for our youth to be um, at home in the community doing nothing. But if you say, I'll year round, I want to make sure that we are working with youth so that they have the support that they need, you please feel free to come on camera or join the stage. You don't have to be on camera. You can join the stage with me without your camera on. Welcome, welcome. If you're looking for something to have your youth do year round, then Blue Pathways is exactly what you need. But if you're saying, oh, I know I have this pot of money, but I want to earmark it for something else, you're doing the youth a disservice, because already in their mind, when they wake up in the morning, they have a plan. And if you're not catching them before they lock into something that is negative, you're going to wind up seeing those peaks of violence go back up during the school year and throughout the year. So what I'm asking is for us to partner and have them enroll into our after school and summer programs so that they will be able to have a support system year round to be able to receive the support that they need, as well as the families. We support the families as well. We have little ones that are watching their big brothers and sisters and their cousins and aunties and uncles go through our program, and they're like, oh, I want to be in the program. I had one that was like 6 that was like, I want to be in your program, Dr. Blue. And I was like, you know what? Hang on, hold on, just a couple more years. You'll be able to, because I only work with 14 through 24, because I want to catch them right before they get into the job market. And then 24 is when we end it, is because by that time they figured it out. Now, you don't have to stop working with us. They don't have to stop working with us once they get to 24. That just means that they go into a different phase. They become blue scholars, and now they're turning around and they're teaching the youth about what they've learned. Okay. And so they become mentors, because after they get with the information, they know exactly what they need to do. Now they're like, look, I just need an opportunity. And so we provide them with opportunities to earn and learn. So they earn employment. They earn through the employment opportunities through working with us, making our products, or actually working in our culinary arts or the cleaning industry. So we get them certified as well, because that certification under their belt is so important. And do we certify? No, we do not. We have partners that certify for us, and they go through, and we can help them to get the funding that they need to get this to get the certification, right? And so we if you're listening to the live, and you're listening to the replay, and you say, man, she's saying a lot of information, this just sounds too good to be true. You know why? It is too good to be true. It is an opportunity to serve. And I tell you that every day that I wake up in the morning and I get to work with you, it is a honor. I am so I'm so blessed, and I just realize, from the time that this started when I was working in higher ed, and I was like, I need to be doing more, but I can't do more being restrained under you know this organization. I need to be able to talk to them like that auntie. I'm not your friend. I'm not your mama. I need to talk to you like I'm that auntie that is giving it to you straight, no chaser. Like, look, Joker, if you keep doing this, this is what you're gonna get. That's why we introduced our one choice program that we talk about the consequences, because we know, as I mentioned before, just because you've done something in the past doesn't mean that we throw you away, right? We've all made decisions, but we've all made choices, but it's not over as long as you have breath in your body. So my call to action is, before I end this and open it up for Q&A, I want to ask you that if you again are working with a group of youth, or you have access to youth and they are between the ages of 14 through 24, and you know that the program that you have is only going to take them to so far because you don't have the wherewithal and you don't have the capacity, Blue Pathways does, right? And we've been doing this for the past 10 years, and we love to do this. We have a system that we know exactly how it works. We know that when our youth is when they're graduating from our program and they're becoming blue scholars, that we know that we've poured into them all that they need to be successful. Now, are they going to do have some blunders, and are they going to stumble a little bit? Absolutely. I've been doing this work. I make mistakes, right? I mess up sometime. Hey, I apologize. I messed up. I'm going to start all over again. But I want them to know that they can start over, and that nobody ever better say to them, you know what, you suck. You didn't do that right. If I ever catch any of my partners talking to the youth like that, we have a problem, because we never ever down our youth when they make mistakes, because as long as they can get it together. Now, there's going to be a consequence, because there's always a consequence to every choice. There's always a reaction to every action, and we know that. But as long as they're trying and they're trying to get it right, you better be on them to say, you know what, we support you, we got your back, we see you, we love you, we want you to do better, and introduce them to the great opportunities that are there for them. And so we want to make sure that we're again talking about that. We talked about that networking and follow up. Networking is so important. Your network is so important. We know that if they're not talking to people, and if they're not into people, getting to meet new people that look like them, or that has the opportunity for the position for them, we're putting them we're putting them at a disadvantage. Okay, so I'm always having opportunities for them to connect with partners that have engaging things for them. That PowerPoint thingy, we're over that. We're done with that. We want to get them into the community. What can they do that they can put their hands on, that they can see a result? And if our youth are doing things, and just like the book work, when they go to school, this is why they're so bored. They don't see the end result. The only thing that they're really working towards, they feel like, is graduation. But all the in between, they don't understand that. But if they have something that they're working towards along with their education, and then education after, continual education, we don't ever get enough education, right? We're always working towards our next level. And if they don't feel like they have something that they can say, okay, this thing helped me produce my educational experience other than a degree or a diploma or a certification, and they've never touched anything, we're not helping them. We're really putting them at a disadvantage. Most of the youth that walk into these business places, they've already touched the thing. They've already been working the thing. They've worked in their parents' businesses. They know exactly what it is. But some of our youth have never ever touched it. So look, Dr. Blue will introduce them. Blue Pathways will introduce them, show them what it is. So don't me. I tell my youth, don't tell me that you want to working in a profession and you've never worked in that, because look, I know some people that know some people that know some people, and I'm going to get you a day on so that you can get out there and see what that job or that profession looks like. I don't like to use the job because that word job, that's just overbroke. I'm trying to help people get careers. A career is something that you see yourself doing every day, whether you're getting paid for it or not, right? So when I started and coaching, I was not getting paid in the beginning. I was doing this pro bono. I didn't even know I could even get paid doing it until I started, taking classes. I was doing it because this was the love of my life. This is exactly what I love to do, working with our youth and our women 14 through 24. I've been doing this for the past 15 plus years. I won't even say how many years, but I love that I get to do this. And I want to share this with you, partner. It's already written out because I work with other partners just like you. So if you want to work together and if you want to know more about what we do, then schedule a time with me. I'm going to drop my Calendly link in here. You can schedule a time with me, and we can actually get to work together and be able to serve our youth together. So I have been talking for a long time, and if you have not joined our newsletter or joined our pages to learn more about us, please feel free to do. This link right here is our website that you can learn more about us, and it will tell you more about what we do, how well to my calendar as well. So I love to do this work, and I would love to do it with you. But in order for me to do that, I got to have you reach out to me. You have to reach out to me. The one thing that I don't like about this is being on the chase for people that I know they need what I have, and they just don't want to say it because they're like, I don't want to just give it away to Dr. Blue, because if I give it away to her, then I won't have anything to just, reserve for myself. What in the world? Why would you just want to hold it for yourself and for your business when it's not being put to use? So I work with organizations also that are nonprofits, and with being a nonprofit, we get together, we write grants together. Whether I'm on the grant or they hire me as a consultant, we do this work together. And I don't need to come in and prove myself. I've already proven myself. If you want to know more about me, you want to know what I do, you can read my website. When we sit down and we talk about what we're doing, that's why I do these lunch and learns. And when we sit down and you book this appointment, I'm not coming in begging for an opportunity. I'm coming in and sharing with you what we can do together. This is no more playing the games of cat and mouse. If you book an appointment with me and you're serious about doing this work, this means that we're talking about dates and times, budget, and we're talking about when I can come in and do this work with our youth, because our youth are hurting out here. Our families are hurting, and we don't have time to be playing these games and trying to figure out if we're playing mismatch or if you're, what church you go to, what. We're not doing all of that, okay? This is about, if you're really serious about working with our youth and really care about the heart of our community, the heartbeat of our community, because people out here are struggling. And when I tell you they are hurting out here. They really need our support. And a lot of us have the opportunity to help, but they try to hoard what they have and don't want to really support our youth. And we're really not doing our youth a service. So if you're on the live right now, or if you are listening to the replay, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to put myself on mute, and I'm going to ask you to come on camera and share with me what it is that you do. and or audio, and go ahead and tell me what you want to know more about as I've talked already. Hi, Ariel. I'm not sure why your device is not connecting, but please add in the chat anything that you would like to ask me. I would be more than happy to answer all of your questions. And someone asked me too the other day about, do I travel? Do I go other places? Absolutely. I have gone as far as Dubai to Jamaica. We take our programs on the road. We are not just stuck to one community, but we are committed to uh, any all communities. Like, yes, my community here in Grand Rapids, yes, I'm committed. I'm very, very committed. But will I go other places? Absolutely. So, Ariel, if you have a question for me, I'm not exactly sure why it's not coming on, but please feel free to send me an email. I will put my email in here also, and that you can reach out to me as well. Okay. Okay. I just put my email up here, and I'm going to put that up there as well. Okay. So I believe in honoring the time of our people. So if you signed up and you registered and you shared your email with me, I'm going to send you a link to this video, and I may just send the audio because the video may be too long, but I'm going to send you a link to the audio, and you can listen to it, because I know that you see my beautiful face. So you know what I look like. So when you get this email from me, I'll follow up. I just believe in follow up, and I believe how important it is. But I do believe in honoring your time. And I said that I was going to be on here an hour. So it's been an hour. Some of you are going to hear the replay. Please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm going to reach out to you as well. And other than that, you all be blessed, and you have yourself an amazing day. Continue to support our youth, and remember that mentorship matters. Have a great day, everybody.